Welcome to Voices of the Plaza, the podcast, hosted by Peggy MacArthur. This is where we amplify stories of empowerment, innovation, and success from the heart of the global business plaza. Each week, Peggy introduces us to one of the creative business people, entrepreneurs, and industry experts who are shaping their fields and redefining success. Together, we'll explore unique journeys, highlight remarkable expertise, and uncover the inspiration behind their success.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited that you guys are here with us for Voices of the Plaza. Today, I have Christy O'Connor with us, and we're going to have a really fun time. And this is episode 1 of season 2, so we have a new look. We're all bright and peppy, so welcome. Christy, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and then we'll just dive in.
Hey, Peggy.
Good to see you.
Same here. Thank you for having me. It's just really wonderful that you invited me here. So, yep, I'm Christy. Hello. I'm your friendly neighborhood marketer. Been online for a really long time. And I really just feel passionate about other people's businesses and helping them grow and brand and listening to their stories on what their goals are. And it just feels so good to help people get a little success. You know, you get almost like family, you know. So I grew up in a family business, and I think that's probably part of it. We always had sort of a common goal.
I love having a goal. Like I'd say that I'm an empowerer. I love to help people, push people forward, and you are the same way. So this is going to be fun. So you've been doing this for a day or two. You're not fresh into this market. You've been doing this for a while.
I actually started when I was 13 years old as a telemarketer working for my dad. So it was a family-owned business. I've never really done anything else. I've never worked for an hourly wage ever. It's always been commission or gratuities or, you know, a piece of the action some way, always.
I love it. So you probably understand the trends in marketing probably better than anyone else because you've seen it come and go. You've seen it all. So how do you balance the creativity part of marketing with the analytical side of marketing? Because they're both really important, but they're like people have different gifts for that, right? Some people can make a beautiful marketing, but not know who to send it to or what to do with it. So how do you kind of balance all that?
Well, you have to have the right people on the team. We have a large team. Sometimes it's up to 25 people. And it's something that I've found, it's almost like a contractor. There's a guy that knows how to nail up boards, make a frame, but he's not going to decorate your house. He'll build the walls and make it work with the nuts and the bolts, but he's not going to make it look pretty. So from marketing, you need both. If you don't have a good creative and you don't have a good image, it's not going to work out well for you. I mean, think about a restaurant. I was always told by my grandfather, if you go to enter a restaurant and the door is dirty, don't walk inside because they're not putting their best foot forward. So you might have somebody that knows everything there is to know about coding or programming or analytics or, you know, what to do as far as the nuts and bolts are concerned. But if it doesn't read well, if you don't have good sales copy, if it's not symmetric, I mean, even down to the colors, it's not going to produce, it's not going to convert. So you have to have that balance. You have to have somebody that is a really good strategist that knows how to package the messaging, not only write the messaging, but package the messaging in a way that's going to be well received.
I think I love that your grandfather said, don't walk in, because it's so true. And that doesn't mean that the food isn't good at that restaurant, but the experience wouldn't be because they don't understand the customer experience. They don't understand that it's not just about the food that goes on your table. It's about what happens when you walk up to the restaurant on the street. And that's how we should consider our businesses. Like, it's not just about the end result. It's about every single step. I think that's one of those like write down and keep in front of you kind of tips.
Yeah, because you're serving your customers before they walk in the door. You're serving them when they receive the ad and make the consideration to even try out your business, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're cutting hair, making pizzas. Like I remember a guy, it was actually during COVID, and they didn't have really good hygiene. And he was like, these pizza ovens are so hot, you're not going to get sick. But he wasn't taking in consideration that I'm not eating out of the oven.
Right.
I'm at the table, I'm using utensils, I'm touching the cheese thing, I'm touching everything, I'm touching your counters. And if it's not hygienic, and that's just food service, but it could be anything. It could be anything. If you want to exude expression of expertise, that comes with a certain set of expectations from your customer. You know if someone's an expert by the way they look and feel and how they present themselves.
And you start building trust from the first impression. You don't start building trust since we are going with the food analogy, when you bring the food to the table, you start building trust from the advertisement on the street. You start building that trust, and marketing is about building trust. In my opinion, it's a conversation. And it's your first impression. It's how you start building trust. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with it. And I think, I don't know the exact stat, but something like 75% of all communication is unspoken. It's all unspoken. And that's what I mean by a dirty front door. So, if you don't present expertise in every subtle way possible, all your body language, all your messaging, your colors, your tone, like I said, the symmetry, you're not going to win.
So let's talk about the new hot tool that everyone's talking about, AI. How do you feel about AI in marketing?
I think AI is awesome. I love it. I think it's great if it's used properly.
I think that's the key right there, if it's used properly, because it's a tool.
Yes.
It's
a large language model.
It's huge, and it's something that's very helpful, but you're not going to, it's one of the pieces that can make things go faster and smoother and better. But if you put all of it AI and you lose the human touch or the actual you, then you have a pretty tool and you're back to square one. You're not your door's dirty.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it's funny because there's a lot of people online trying to sell AI agents, voice agents, chatbots have been around forever. But people know when they're talking to a robot, right?
Absolutely.
You can tell. Even the biggest, most expensive companies like Verizon has AI. You're like, give me a representative. You're yelling into the phone,
representative, human.
Yeah. So again, it has to do with your strategy. You have to have a good strategy and a good set of tactics to go, okay, we intend on using AI, but what's the ethical and the customer service guidelines that we want to follow to make sure that we get the most out of it? Really, all we want to do is make sure it increases our touch points and reduces the lag time for consumer wait time. So if you can increase touch points and reduce wait time, your customers will be happy. But you can't replace customer service with it. So if you're trying to replace, go ahead, you were going to say something.
Well, I was just going to say exactly, because for me, there are times that I do just want an AI. I just want a quick answer. And there are times that I have a problem and I want somebody that I feel can use common sense and rationalize with me and help me get a solution to whatever that problem is. Both are important. Like sometimes I don't want to sit on the phone for 30 minutes to talk to a human. Sometimes I just need a quick answer, and a chat bot or even an animated thing. That's great. And sometimes through the automations, like just getting me from one place to another, those are, just having an email chain, all these different things that are going to be helpful. But it's not replacing humans. It's helping humans be more effective in what humans do, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think that as a strategist, a marketing strategist, if you need AI help, that's one of the things that we focus on is leveraging AI for the benefit of the business. And it's only as good as the professional that you have. AI will send you down a rabbit hole. I'm sure people have noticed that, right? So if you have a good AI architect and an AI engineer that can help the business teach that robot and give it the knowledge bases. That's the key with AI, is you've got to have multiple knowledge bases connected to your custom formatted and custom engineered bot. So they're just large language models. They're pulling from how-to guides and employee handbooks and Q&As and FAQs. So if you have the proper AI engineer and AI architect that's going to be able to give you what you want, with the focus, once again, of reducing customer wait time, increasing business to consumer touch points, then you are going to encourage the conversion and encourage the sale, but you can't replace the salesman. And that's the thing. If you're getting businesses and these people on YouTube, oh yeah, we can do this. You know, it's so easy. You'll never have to touch it again. You just plug this in, pay your $500 a month, and you'll never, the money will just roll in. No, if it sounds too good to be true, it is.
If it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. Exactly.
Yeah. And your AI is going to make mistakes. I can tell you right now, I'm a veteran at this. We've been working with chatbots since 2001, and so you have to let it roll out in a beta format. You've got to test it, and it's going to make mistakes. It's going to tell people the wrong things. Then you got to go add another knowledge base and repeat it, add another knowledge base and repeat it. So we call it friction, consumer friction. You have to reduce the friction that your customers and your visitors are experiencing on your site. You've got to make it super easy for them to go down that path. Anything that's going to slow them up or make them feel uncomfortable, any little dirty door in between, it's going to cause friction. It's going to make that customer flinch and divert and go off somewhere else. So I would say it's something like 60 or 70% of all conversions happen after they've clicked, after they've applied, after they've entered into your funnel. And reducing all those friction points, increasing the touch points, and reducing that lag time is what it's going to make that person feel comfortable and feel like, oh, this is an expert. And they shouldn't even notice it. They should just want whatever it is that you have to offer. We've all experienced it too, where I don't know, I need an estimate or I need a quote. I want somebody to fix something or work on something, whether it's on your website or your roof on your home. They don't get back to you. It takes too long to get a response. You think you're talking to them in real time. And, I just got this text, I'm responding. And then all of a sudden it's 2 days. And they don't even, you know what I'm saying? Those are friction points that are just killers. They're market killers.
I agree with that. There are some, I'm a research person. Like I'm going to dig, I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to do my comparisons if I'm making a purchase, right? And there are times when I start to do this and all of a sudden I'm like, things go so smoothly and all of my questions are answered so quickly that I'm like, I don't even need to see what anybody else is doing because the experience is so amazing that even if I'm paying a few dollars more, it's worth the lack of frustration. And I think that that's something that people need to realize is that customer experience, that is your marketing. That is part of it. So what would you say was the secret sauce about getting your marketing to not just attract people, but to convert them? I'm going to guess that you're going to say those touch points and continuing to get their attention. But what would you say?
Yeah, because the person has a desire. They're in the market for whatever it is. They have the desire. They're considering it. So once they're aware that your business exists and they start to consider maybe working with you, the more it's those friction points, the more you reduce the friction points and eliminate anything that's going to hold them back. And then they, like you, do research and compare to other businesses that maybe they don't have reviews. So I would ask you the same question. When you do research, have you ever come up on a company that has a ton of reviews and you can tell that they're fake?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, nobody would say these words in a review.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I have 500 all 5-star reviews. Not one piece of nothing you could have done better. Nothing. You know? And so I would ask you and ask anybody listening and any of the businesses out there to think about those things. Think about if you're considering increasing your business, increasing the traffic to your site, increasing whatever you're trying to increase, whether it's foot traffic, phone calls, web traffic, even social media presence, think about what the customer experience would be. Think about how you would act. What do you do when you look for a business that's going to give you service? Would you accept a bunch of fake reviews and give somebody your money? And if the answer is no, why would you do that for your company? And so I think that you hit the nail on the head, Peggy, is that when we started talking about AI and then we started talking about the human element, it's really authentic and the authenticity of it. If you have genuine pictures, before and after pictures, genuine testimonials, there's certain things you cannot fake. You just can't fake it.
As a photographer, I for 100 million years, I've been a professional photographer. And that is one of the biggest pet peeves that I would come across. And I didn't even know, 10 years ago, I think it became apparent to me that some photographers use stock photos or other people's photographs on their site. And that just I'm like, this is literally your job. And and then I realized that people do this in their business, whether they're photographers or not. They use other people's testimonies or other people's, words. And you can tell when you start to work with them, because as soon as you do get in there, you realize wait, something's not right here. And being true to yourself and to your business, that's how you're going to draw the right clients to you anyway. You may be able to fake it, use fake reviews, do all the things and get a ton of clients, but they're not going to be good clients. They're going to cause you headaches. They're going to cause you issues. Being true to yourself and getting 5 great clients is way more valuable than faking it for 20 clients. It's because down the road, those 5 clients are going to send their friends and it's going to build and build. And I just, authenticity is, in my opinion, key to running your business.
Yeah. And I would encourage business owners to first make the decision. That's why on a lot of websites, you'll see our core values. This isn't something that just a search engine picks up. So I would love to sit here and say, oh, just put this keyword in, just put your titles and you'll get all the traffic that you want. And it takes a special kind of customer. I could tell you that a lot of times I will turn people down. I don't want to work with a certain company that wants to have unrealistic expectations. So I would think that it would be very important to make the decision that what are your core values? What is your plan? How do you plan on doing this? And then also acknowledging, I really want to take the time to acknowledge a small business, very difficult. It's really difficult. So if you're in that situation, you go, well, geez, I don't have any reviews. I don't know what to do. I don't have the pictures. I don't have a staff, but I have this idea and I'm good at what I do. And I want to promote my business. So if the first thing that you do is just decide, I'm going to do this right. I want to do it right. And understand there's no easy button here. There's no quick fix. There's no get rich quick scheme. It's not realistic to have these really easy outcomes if you're hearing influencers and marketers online just talking about, just do this and you'll get massive results. It's a lie. It's a
lie.
I'm here to tell you I'm a 30-year executive. 30 years I've been doing this for publicly traded companies, small businesses alike, all the way down to solopreneurs. There's never an easy and quick way of doing it. So all you have to do is decide you're going to do it right. If you're not going to do it right, just become a career criminal and go off and be safe. Good luck with that. But if you have decided you're going to do it right, you're going to do it ethically, there are ways of using stock photos. There are ways of creating authenticity.
As long as you're not a photographer.
Even if you're a photographer. So I do some expert photography myself. If I use a stock photo, you know what I do, Peggy? As I say,
Edit it.
This is a rendering. This is what it could look like. Here is a model or a sample example. So there's always ways around it. You can always be in full disclosure. Just be in full disclosure. This is an AI. There's so many people out there trying to sell AI and make people think, oh yeah, you could just pretend it's a human. No, you cannot. Because people don't talk that way. The second they find out you're lying or you're being dishonest, you'll never get anybody else ever again.
Because you've broke that trust, and breaking trust is the hardest thing to refix. Once you've broke trust with somebody, there's 500 other people that do something similar to you. Why are they going to give you a second chance?
That's right. That's right. And it's harder to build trust, and it takes longer, and you have to roll your sleeves up, and you have to actually, think to yourself, well, you know what? I won't get the quick conversions if I say this is AI, but the people that do work with me will appreciate it, and that energy will come back to you. So that's my 2 cents.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So, I want you to get your crystal ball out now, and I want you to look into the future. What do you think? What part of marketing in 5 years from now will be unrecognizable from what we do now? Like, what do you think is going to change in the next 5 years?
Well, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between a bot and a human being.
You think it'll be good?
Oh, deep fakes are going to be so insane. So actually user-generated content, and you have to have small communities. So if I have any advice out there, that's why I joined your business Plaza, by the way, Peggy. I did it intentionally because I know that community and you got to go back to your tribe. So it started off where SEO was super easy. Everybody got to be a millionaire in .com. Now it got more and more saturated and competitive. So now people started doing local SEO, Google Map SEO, and now it's going to go and it's going to repeat. History repeats itself. So now even local media is going to be difficult. You will not be able to tell the difference between user-generated content, AI-generated content. Right now you can tell, but give it 6 months. You won't. Yeah. In 24 months.
It is increased like in the last year. It's night and day what it can do. So yeah, give it 6 months, give it a year, give it 2 years.
That's right. So you need to have get out there in person, go to your Chamber of Commerce, go to networking events, in-person meetups, join Peggy, join her business Plaza, because I'm somebody that never had to do this. I never really had to get on social media. I never had to do all of this stuff because I had built-in contacts, I had jobs, I had all kinds of things, but I'm seeing that future. And so that is precisely the reason. And I would encourage anybody, because there's very few people that know what you know and what you're giving and providing people, the benefits. So definitely you're the model. You're the model that's going to work. Oh, that's why I called you. I don't know if you realize that.
Thank you.
I targeted you. It's true.
Well, I appreciate being targeted in a good way.
I don't mean in a creepy way. I mean, it would be a good thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's talk about trends. What do you think is a marketing trend right now that is super overrated, like too much hype and like zero or not enough results?
Well, I'm going to go back to AI, automations, these all-in-one tools. They're great. I sell SaaS, no problem. I mean, I would love to have 100 more customers for my SaaS campaigns, but you're only as good as the human beings that are behind it. So unless you have that certainty, again, it's the get rich quick, set it and forget it, hit a button. AI is here. There's no more, just go back and watch those futuristic movies that in commercials they had in the 50s, the modern kitchen.
Right.
Everybody thought it was going to be like the Jetsons, and we're like, oh, we won't eat anymore. We'll just take a pill. It's kind of like that these marketing trends of AI driven ad campaigns. Go ahead, tell Google to set AI and Performance Max in your Google campaigns and see how much money it takes out of your account.
Exactly. And And that's the point, is right now it's so easy to find, like, everybody, every corner, they're selling this AI tool that's going to be the miracle for your marketing and bring you all these clients. But it's exactly that. What's the person behind it? If it seems too good to be true, it is, because when you're using an AI tool, I use AI tools, and they're not easy. And if they are easy, they're not good. Yeah, it takes time to train them and put all of your knowledge and all of your information about your business in them so that they can give a good output. And anybody that's right now saying, here you go, here's your magic pill, it's what it's going to do is magically take money out of your account and put it into their account. That's what it's going to
Yeah.
magically do.
Yeah. And some of these bots are going rogue. But once again, if you have a good AI engineer and an AI architect that understands that you've got to be able to fuel dedicated, targeted niche bots with knowledge bases, and you need multiple knowledge bases, multiple FAQs, you need to give it scenario training. If you can give your bot scenario training and then you test it on a daily basis, then you have something. And it's all to that goal to reduce friction, consumer friction and worry, and increase the touch points, leading to human customer service. Don't forget the human element. People want people. And in your business, if you're considering any of these tools, please ask yourself, would I buy that? Would I enjoy it as a consumer? What was the last thing that I bought? Like, some of these things, especially for marketing, like, a good marketing director could get quite a lot of money on an annual basis. Would you pay that for your company?
Mm-hmm.
You think, okay, well, why would this person get, 6 figures, but now I can just run my whole business for $200 a month? That
Right.
doesn't add up. It doesn't really add up. But now you could have a tool that's $200 a month, but you have your project manager, you have your marketing manager, you have a team behind you that's going to do those engineering and those architect designs and the strategies behind it to give it the scenario training that you need. It's just not a cookie cutter. It's just not.
No, and AI is a tool. I say it over and over. It's a tool. It's not a replacement. And when we use it like a tool, it can be very effective and really good. It can do amazing things. But when you use it as a replacement, it's not going to give you the results, because how can it? It's not a human. It's AI. It's something that needs trained and supervised and, helped, So I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
it's really, I want to interject this with AI. AI, now they do have a lot of decision makings, and the newer models are getting a lot better, but the basis of them are that they are large language models. So when you think about a search engine, it's pulling written information from other sources that are ranked. I cannot tell you how many times it's been wrong. I ask it for computer coding. I'm like, all right, give me a CSS for this, or, I've got to get this automation done. Why is this not showing up? And I'm like, wow, this thing is completely wrong. Why? Because it read an old manual from an outdated, deprecated piece of information, and it's just regurgitating. It's just like writing. It's just reading a book. It's just regurgitating information.
yes.
So anyways, I think it's important that people know that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's very important. And as somebody that does use AI as a tool, it is frustrating because it'll give you something and you're like, that's no way is that right. And then you have to go in but the problem is that some people are taking it like it's the gospel. It's like, well, this is what it gave me, without testing it, without fact checking it, without doing all the due diligence that a human needs to do. Because again, it's learned on things that it's pulling. We don't know what it's pulling from. And if you're the one feeding it the information, because I have, a bot that talks about, gives people information, and I realized I hadn't updated it for a while, and I went in just to check it because I hadn't touched it for a while, and it gave me some really bad information. And I was like, oh my gosh, you can't just, it's not once and done. It's something that needs to be, always, because we change. We don't even realize how much we change over, our business, just as we grow and we change and we add things and things fall off, we don't think about that until all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't updated this and that and this and that. So you just, human touch and authenticity is, I don't think either one of us can say that enough. I agree with you.
Now you're a professional photographer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to, and I'm not, I use apps because I need like the idiot tools. But if you were to go into ChatGPT and say, okay, well, frames per second, what the aperture, what lens should I use for this or that, it might give you something that's super complicated when you would think as a professional, I don't know, I'll just put this setting and just change the brightness. I'm not going to go through 14 different tools and do all these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So
And what you're talking about is experience versus what's in the book. You know, a kid graduates from college and thinks they know everything, and then realizes, oh, I need to understand how this information that I have applies to real life situations. And that's what experience is. And that's what humans do, is they learn, okay, I have the knowledge, which you can get from AI or internet or whatever, right? Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but then you have the experience of applying it and seeing how it works and what needs to shift and what doesn't work. And then you make the shifts in it. And that's what you do with a tool. You're like, you got that information. Now let's make sure it fits right and works right. And it's giving us the results that are actually needed.
yeah, and being part of your community is amazing. What you're providing for your viewers. And so I like to consider myself an expert. I think I've gotten to that place where I
think you have.
I feel comfortable saying it, you know. I mean, I like to stay humble too. I guess I'm not sounding very humble, but the only reason why I'm saying that right now is that even somebody like myself, that I consider myself an expert, I need what you have to offer. I need your community. I need the other souls that are in there, the solopreneurs, the individual brands, the agencies, the small businesses, where we can sit down, go into your get shit done sessions where we're just sitting down and be like, oh, we got to get this done. I'm done. I don't feel like being alone here. And then talking about stuff like this, talking shop, you know, I don't know. You can give me an example, right? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm babbling here, but the community, the conversations, oh, what did you guys happen to your bot? Did you ever experience this? How come this isn't working? Like, we're all using a lot of the same tools. Be like, how come my bot keeps yelling at people, or whatever it is that's happening? Someone will give me a good idea. You know?
Well, and it's also the instant feedback, because when we're in our businesses, we see everything, right? We're right here in our businesses and we see what we know. We know all the things, but you come in and you don't know all the things about my business. And I'm like, well, it's right here. And you're like, what does that even mean? And you're like, oh, I forgot to say step 1 and step 2, you know? And so a lot of times I think that's one of the most valuable things about having a community, is that we can go into each other's websites and rooms and, you know, funnels and go, yeah, I didn't get it. That didn't make any sense.
I know.
And it's like, oh, ding, 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 ding. Let me, you know, and it's just that small little shift. It's not, oh my God, I'm a failure. It's like, oh my gosh, all I have to do is this one little thing. And then boom, I start seeing results. And because I've been alone for, you know, I've been doing business alone for a long time, and it is not fun, because it's that thing you think, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything right. Oh, it's just that little tiny shift,
It's friends. It's like being on a team.
Yeah. And it's fun. It's so much more fun to have people to work with.
Yeah.
And you have that silly idea, and you don't have to have your partner listen to it that doesn't care about it. You have like other business people that are like, what? That's a great idea.
We are. I don't know about you, but I eat, sleep, live, breathe, marketing, clicks.
Right.
This conversion ratio. They're like, what? Nobody in my life knows what I do for a living.
Nobody,
We still don't get it.
So what is it that you do? You make pictures for social media? Yeah, I know.
It's like, how do you pay your bills? I'm like, oh, no, you didn't.
So yeah, it's fun. And thank you for that. Thank you for saying that, because I obviously agree. I think that it's amazing having experts like yourself and all the other shopkeeps that they really do know what they're doing. You're here with brilliant people, and there's a lot of experts, but we have authorities. Like, you're an authority in this. I would say you're not just an expert, but you are an authority. You have seen this play out. You know the trends, the ins and outs of this. You're somebody that can be a trusted authority. And when you have authorities like the amount of people that we have in here, it's great, because I'm not an authority in everything. I have my things that I'm good at. You have your things that you're good at. But when we all come together, then, that's where the magic is.
Yeah, and that's why I really like your business plaza, Peggy. I think it's so good because like we're using this as an example, but like we were talking about photography and pictures. And if I'm doing marketing for a real estate client, I go, you know what, I just can't get the shadow out of here. And I could just stop in and say, hey, could you just give me a quick tip? I know you're not going to say, well, for $500, you're not even going to
Right.
charge.
It's
me.
like,
Hey, Christy, what's up? How's it going? We're just the water cooler friends. We're doing
yeah,
this. We're all just trying to live our lives, and of course, everyone's been really cool too, because we do use each other's services when it meant, when it warrants it, but anyways, I appreciate that. And I think it's a really good thing that you have. And I do think that's the trend. I definitely think that the expo, the cooperative, these little tribal communities that we have is really going to be what it is. Because on the opposite coin, I've been lucky enough to be on a board of directors for a couple of nonprofits and actually connected with some risk assessment professionals here in my local area. I'm in Western Massachusetts, and there's a lot of fraud. There's just so much fraud. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was saying that this particular thing, why I wanted to join a community. I was just joking when I said I was targeting you. That was just a joke. But I intentionally did it to put strong people and experts around me, to put safe people that I could trust and get to know. Because even in communities, there might be somebody that you don't resonate with, or maybe they just don't have the best ethics, but that will reveal itself, But the amount of fraud and the way AI and the things that are going to come up, the way we were saying, how you won't be able to tell the difference, it's going to continue to happen more and more and more. And we're going to need to still have services, and we're going to need to maintain our businesses. And the way the economy is going, you can't waste money on fraudulent services. You've got to be able to work with people you trust. And so getting to know them on a personal level is just awesome to me.
and that's a really good point. Because it's with deep fakes and everything else, fraud it's scary. It's scary. So that's a great point. What is one tip you would like to leave our listeners with today? Besides, they should have a consultation with you and see if you're a match. But besides that, what other one tip would you like to leave?
Oh, have a consultation with you. No, don't give up. Don't give up. Just be very, very mindful. And, don't like everything that we said about don't fall for the fake things, but just don't give up. There are people out there right now, there's never been a better time to do business, to open a business, and to serve people. People are very hungry for good quality services, good quality workmanship. Increase your skill sets and just don't give up. Keep striving. You can do it. That would be my tip. Don't give up.
Yay. I love that. I love that. Now, you are in the Global Business Plaza. So if people go to globalbusinessplaza.com, they can find you, they can find your room, they can go to the directory, they can find out how to get a hold of you. Is there another way that you want people to find you?
You can check out my YouTube channel at Christy-413. And if you just look up OCONCO, OCONCO marketing, you'll find me. I got thousands of pages out there. You'll find me.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. And I will see everybody next week. And I encourage you to go hunt her down and get a consultation, see all the amazing things she's doing. All right. We'll see you soon. Thanks.